I mentioned with Chuck Papalia that sometimes we wait too long, or we take too long. Sometimes people aren't nominated with appropriate backup, or don't have somebody put a folder together for them. Occasionally you miss big, and you go way, way beyond the time that someone should be inducted into the Hall of Fame. Our next inductee fills that bill. Testa and Antonellis and Testa. Boy, they were rocks in the defensive line at Watertown High School. Their football teams were always good, but everybody knew with Testa and Antonellis. And Ronnie Testa was one terrific football player. Testa was co-captain of Watertown High School, was an all-scholastic performer, was voted one of the outstanding football players in the state of Massachusetts, and then he went on to show people how really good he was. We had a chance to watch him play in 1961 when the town of Watertown sent our football team down to watch the Orange Bowl when Navy played Missouri. Everybody's eyes were on Joe Bellino, great Heisman Trophy winner for Navy. But all little Rugrats in Watertown, their eyes were all on Ronnie Testa. Ronnie Testa went on to have a great career at Navy, a starting defensive tackle for 3 years, a tremendous all-around football player, and a great American. Please recognize in his induction in the Hall of Fame, stand and greet Mrs. Julie Testa, Ronnie Testa, class of 1958. Presenting the award to Mrs. Testa, Louis Bias, Billy Trigakis.
Congratulations. He was a great teammate.
Well, I knew him as Ron, but I hear it's Ronnie tonight, so I'll try to remember that. I'm here with my daughter Pam, our daughter Pam, and several of Ron's cousins and their spouses, and I thank his cousin Patty so much for joining the family with us tonight. It means a great deal to us. I want to thank the Watertown Athletic Hall of Fame for honoring Ron in this very special way. My heartfelt thanks to Sam and Lou and Dom, who wrote so many things that I've heard so much about all these years. It's a real treat for us to hear stories, and especially for Pam to hear some stories about her dad. He didn't say much about his legacy, so it's nice to hear them from the heart here. There's been lots written about this man and the football career and his successful naval career. He was admired by many as a good leader. He was honest. He was true to his beliefs. He was a man of the highest character. And as Pam said in a written document given at his funeral, he was a successful leader in his professional life, a loving and adoring companion, and a generous and caring son in his mother's life. His mother, Nan, is alive. She'll be 100 this year. She lives in a retirement home. I said a retirement home, not a nursing home, not assisted living. I see her daily. I met Ron after his high school and after his college days were over, so I didn't know a lot about the high school and college playing that he did. We began dating in '69, we're married in 1970, and I have to tell you, for this farm girl from Oregon, this was quite a ride. Years ago, Pam began to show great signs that she also had this athletic gene. Ron had a very special relationship with Pam, who still plays soccer, and Pam would say Dad had a very deep understanding of what it was like to kick an opponent in the knee who had deliberately just knocked you down. But I just want to spend a couple minutes to tell you about the man that I knew and loved. This was a man that kept old coats and sweaters in the back of his car, would drive through the streets of Washington, D.C., stop, give a sweater, a handshake, not say a word, get back in his car, and give them something of a bit of warmth. This was a man who brought dozens and dozens of turkeys and frozen chickens at Thanksgiving, gave them to the church and said, "May I never see my name in the bulletin, and I don't want a letter of thanks." He couldn't say no to all those phone calls from the handicap, so I have hundreds and hundreds of light bulbs. During the years, many men have called me to tell me a story, and one was most recently, and he told me that he had been a wrestler and Ron was his coach. And when Bob, this gentleman, had lost the match at the United States Naval Academy on the mat, he walked off in anger, and Ron told somebody to go get him, but he didn't come out. So Ron stopped everything and went to get him and told him that it's not about winning, it's about being a gentleman and supporting your team. And then Bob went on to tell me that actually it was a more explicit and much longer conversation, but that was the essence of what he was telling me. I think these are lessons that he never forgot, and I am sure that these are lessons that he learned here at Watertown. I want to thank you for honoring Pam's father, Nan's son, our cousin, my husband. Ronnie remained a hometown kind of guy, a very quiet man, a gentleman, one who moved away from Watertown but never lost sight of the values he learned here, of being good and honest and kind and caring and very competitive.